Gonna see if I can make a pickup with stuff I've got here. So I've got the 40 gauge enamel magnet wire, hot glue gun, 1/2 inch neodymium magnet. It's a 1/4 inch in diameter. Some wire, I don't know. Got the at the dump, and utility knife and some thin cardboard. So I ended up cutting this with scissors, and you can see this is just a plain old circle-ish shape, and I hot glued that on to the end of the magnet, and then I made a hole through this one. I just want to get this magnet as close as I can to the string. We'll see how that goes. And then in this side I've clipped a little slot, you can see right there. So when I first put the wire on here, I'm going to put the free end of the wire through there and have it hanging out. And to spin this thing around, I've got a little piece of steel, and I'll probably just go like that, stick this in the drill and turn it around. This wire is so fine you can hardly see it. See it sticking out there. So I've got the end going through this little slot. I'm going to use some tape and tape it down. Now that wire runs through, I don't know if you can see it here, I've got a piece of, I think it's the female Velcro tape stuck to the table, and then the male Velcro stuck to that. So that tensions this a little bit. So if I get going real fast and I stop, I shouldn't have to worry about the stuff coming off the spool down there and having momentum and keeping on going. I don't know if that'd be an issue anyway, but this just got this clamped down, maybe overkill, but I'm going to keep this steady. Oh well, here goes. Now what you can't see is that I've been reaching in there with my finger, kind of guiding the wire to go where I want it to go. If I just do this, I don't know. See, it's getting kind of thick on that one part. Huh, it's funny looking. Sort of lumpy and off. Not sure why it's like that. Oh well. Oh, it's because I have a thick piece of hot glue under there. I bet that's what happened. But what I do if I want to spread it out a little bit is I just push the wire over to the right or to the left as I use the drill. No idea how many turns that is, but it's a fair number. So I've found, hopefully this won't prove me wrong here, but I've found that hot glue isn't hot enough to melt the enamel off of these wires. So I'm putting that on so my wire doesn't unwrap, and later on I'm just going to encase the whole darn thing in hot glue. Seems to work okay. So I'll let that cool for a second, and then I'm going to snip this wire and get the other one out and finish it up. One thing kind of nice about this process, about using the Velcro, is that if you're going to make several of these, as my class probably is, I can snip this off, well, better longer than shorter, and the rest of it stays right here. It doesn't fall back down and make a big tangle and unwind. It stays out here, right there. So it's ready for the next person. They can just pull it up and hook it on, or just leave it there. Now I should just be able to pop this right off, since it's magnetic, and I'll do the next part. As the caption says, at this point the footage starts to get bad. I decided that I was using the wrong kind of wire. I stripped it, and when I stripped it I didn't see a change in color, and then I thought, oh no, this is not coated wire, it's just plain old copper. But it turned out that it was really fine wire, so it did work, but in my panic I didn't take such good pictures. This picture shows the pickup hanging from its tiny little 40 gauge wires. You can't really see them. You can see the purple heavier wires up above. So I've soldered the little tiny ones on, and at this point I wrapped the tiny ones around close, and then I covered the whole thing in hot glue so that when I pulled on the wires, all I'd be pulling on was the purple ones, not the tiny ones. Forgot to mention, I don't really know what I'm doing when I'm soldering, but what I did was I took my took my clamp and I clamped this down to the table, and then I took that really thin wire and I sort of nestled it underneath it, and then I just came over with my solder and soldering iron and dumped a big glob on there, so it hopefully connected this with a little copper wire. It's probably a better way to do it. People who know how to solder can tell you how to do it. But it worked, and now none of that thin wire is exposed here. Also, you can see my little slit there where I tucked the wire in. Way back when I pulled the wire out and put it in the main spool, and now it's all covered up by hot glue. So this is a little string instrument. I don't know, you can probably hear it. It's acoustic at this point. It's unplugged, and you're just gonna have to trust me that all I'm doing is put the pickup underneath here, kind of hold it in place. I need to adjust it. So here's what it sounds like. Move it away, move it back. Pretty sensitive. Most sensitive one I've made. Whoop.